Hey there, fellow wood shavers, Brian here with the Wood Shave Experience. Thank you for tuning in to today's video. Today's video, we will be using 345 Soap's Hometown, along with the matching splash on that. I will be using a one blade. So this is at BBS Live, single edge week. So I'm participating in that. So I have a one blade here, and I am using, it comes with, or doesn't come with, but it uses a particular blade, and this is a feather blade, and it is a the blade is wrapped and then it looks like this, so it's unlike any other blade, and so we'll get to that in a second. I'm using my Smilez for Miles synthetic brush. This was a special collaboration with the razor company, or TRC. And we are all lathered up in the bowl here. So this one, I chose a synthetic knot on that. All right, so this first use of one blade. This actually, I've had this one blade for several months, and this actually came to me from Ken Shave 326 as a gift some time ago, and for some reason I just haven't used it yet. I'm not sure why, no particular reason. But anyways, it uses this, I want to call it a proprietary blade. I think you can modify some other types of blades, if I'm not mistaken, to fit in here. Maybe, I don't know if it's a gem blade or another type of blade, but otherwise you're kind of stuck with what Feather has. So it just slides in the back. So you slide it in. You obviously got to make sure the edge that is the cutting edge is pretty easy to identify. It's much thinner, a little shinier down there. And I will just load this in here. So it just goes in there. Get that lined up. My eyes are going, guys. Okay, what am I doing here? There we go. There we go. So it goes in, and then you can just take your thumbs on the back and push it all the way in. And there we go, it's in. So you can see now the blade is sticking out on that side. And we are, I think we're all lined up. Yeah, there's some notches in there. So the blade is a little loose in there on that end, which I don't really know why that is. I can't really get it in any tighter than that. It's the same thing that happened on my Occam's Artist Club razor, where that was a little loose. You can hear that shaking around. I could be doing something wrong here. Maybe I even loaded it wrong. I don't think I did though. Anyways, we'll give it a go. All right, let's wet the face and get started. I probably should have looked up how to load it, but I just assumed that's how it's loaded, so I can be totally wrong. And so we're just gonna roll with it. Hope everybody had a good week. It is Friday. And yesterday I had an intention of shaving. I used the Parker Adjustable, which is a injector style razor, and that worked out pretty well. I hadn't used that in a while, but I got a nice shave with that. I actually like that razor. It's a pretty good razor for 30, 40 bucks, 35, 40 bucks, something like that. The one thing that's way different about the one blade is that the head actually pivots. So it's kind of more reminiscent of a cart, but we'll see. The blade seems to be, in there pretty good. So, all right, we'll just give it a go and check it out. So here we go, the first pass. And it's shaving. I don't really feel any drag or anything. Like I said, it is weird that it pivots. I want to press on it a little bit. Got one of my wife's hairs, I think, somewhere. Yep, there we go. My wife's got the kind of blondish hair, so sometimes it's hard to see. It is weird, this pivots though. I kind of want to put more pressure on it than I probably would need to. I don't really feel the blade much. I can hear the feedback, so we know it's cutting. So whether I loaded the blade right or not, it seems to be working. I think with the pivoting head, it will be more interesting in like the other passes. And this is the, I don't know what, I know they have one that's like, I think might be solid stainless steel. This obviously has some plastic on it. I looked it up. I think this one's around, if you were to buy a new one, $100-ish. Now this is where I'm going to find it interesting, is getting around my nose. The head is a little bulky. So we'll come back to that on the next pass. All right, 3, 4, 5s. Hometown is in the Trinity base, and that's the goat, camel, and oh no, I was gonna have to look. Goat, camel, and donkey milk is the 3 milks, and then it's also Trinity base because John is a religious man, and it's a nod to his faith. All right, so here we go. Pass 1 done. Scent on this, it's not as strong. I feel like it's a little not quite as strongly scented as some of the other 2, 4, 5 soaps, which is totally fine. I put the scent strength still. It's still pretty good scent strength, but I feel like Shipwreck and Fresh Cut Fade are a little bit higher strength, scent strength. But this one is still hanging in there. I'm gonna definitely call it a good medium, a good 5, where I think the other ones are probably like 6 to 7s. This might be like a 5 to 6. Very good base. The scent notes on this are bergamot, amber, sandalwood, peach, and patchouli. And the peach and patchouli are supposed to be very much in the background. I would have to agree with that. It is kind of a warmer scent, I think, with that. Although I think if you ask around, like Jack in the Virtual Groom Room, will tell you that amber is not an actual scent note, but it's used quite often as a scent note. So anyways, we won't get into that in today's video, but it does have a bergamot amber, so it has a warmness to it, and the sandalwood, so it's got the wood. Those of you that watched my videos before know that I'm not a fan of patchouli. I don't really get the patchouli on this, which is good for me. It must be very well in the background, so as long as the patchouli is pretty much well mixed and buried in there, I'm okay with that. It's just when it's a prominent note and I can really pick it up is when I don't like it. So the head pivots, but it doesn't seem to pivot too easily. So I think you'd have to press on it pretty hard to get it to really pivot. And so if you're using a light touch, it doesn't really pivot that much, or really at all. I think that you'd have to press on it pretty hard when you're shaving, and it pivots backwards. So you'd have to, so the blade is not on my face. So you'd have to press it pretty hard to get it to pivot. So if you're just using a light touch, I don't really notice the pivoting. I'd say the peach is a pretty supporting note on this as well. Although I do get the peach, no question. It definitely comes through. If you like peach, this isn't like a peach bomb, like not bomb, but bomb. So it's not real peachy, fruity. So the peach is toned down, but definitely comes through. I do get the warmness of the scent in the background or in the base of it. It's probably, I will say it's probably not my favorite 345 scent if I'm thinking about all the other 345 scents. But it is a nice one. We'll give it the wife test in a little bit. I'll tell you what, I will be honest, I did my video with the Lather and Blades Vita, and I was feeling really good about the scent, and I'm like, man, this is awesome. I was like singing its praises in the video, and I do really like it. But I got ready, went downstairs, and my wife was down there, and she's like, what is that smell? I'm like, what is, it's my soap today, and it's Splash, it smells good. She's like, no, it does not smell good. And she's like, in fact, it smells bad. She's like, and then she said, it actually, when you go to the office, it might be a little embarrassing. It's so strong and not good. I was like, wow. So she was certainly less than a fan of Vita. So that's kind of a dilemma now. What do you do if your spouse or significant other doesn't like a scent that you really do like? Do you keep it? Do you still use it? I did come home from work that night, and it had obviously dissipated quite a bit, and she was not like, she didn't say anything more about it. So I think by that time it had worn off enough, but the angle on this is definitely different than the DE. I can feel it flexing a little bit more as I'm going against the grain. Just because it's getting those tougher hairs, especially in the chin area. So I'm trying to ride that cap a little bit. I feel a little bit more tugginess in this pass than I'm typically used to with blades. I don't have, as I mentioned, I don't have particularly coarse nor dense beard growth. It is more dense in the mustache and chin area, or the goatee area. And for some reason, like right here, like here and here, like there's like an area right here where it's like grows denser. Otherwise here and the neck, not so dense. But so we don't do the traditional, and by we I mean I do not do the traditional fool's pass here in the mustache area, I just kind of pull the skin and try to get a little bit closer. And I'm okay with that. I feel like I'm able to get, when I go in at this angle, the nose area fairly well, even though I think the head's a little bulky. And then we'll just clean some stuff up here on the neck. Some hairs that grow in odd directions. And this jawline always gives me a little bit more grief in wanting to be smooth. All right, there you have it with the one blade. I'm gonna rinse the face here. So I'll just say it, probably not the most efficient shave I've had, for sure. But I've been wanting to try this, and single edge week was a perfect week to do it. I actually kind of wanted to compare this to the Supply and the Twig. So at some point, maybe I might continue single edge week next week and get a little bit more use out of these razors and kind of compare them. Off the top, I would say that the Twig, to me, out of the three, single edge seem to provide the best and most efficient shave. And I do like that the Twig does not have a proprietary blade. So you can take any DE blade, snap it in half, and use that in the Twig. So less expensive, and you can use pretty much, they do sell some half DEs, but you can use pretty much anything that you want to use. Whereas this is a proprietary blade, and I think only Feather makes it. And then the Supply company is an injector blade, which there's more injector blades available out there, but still not as much of a selection on blades. So there you have it in terms of today's shave. So, oh, actually, there we don't have it because we haven't used a splash yet. By the way, welcome to those that are new to the channel. Thanks for those of you who've been around and your continued support. Appreciate it. If you happen to like this video, please hit that like button below. If you're watching this for my channel for the first time, please consider hitting that subscribe button. That would be much appreciated. We are approaching 450, so hey, pretty good. And this is a pleasant scent. It's nice. It's definitely good for summer. If you like peach, I like peach. I don't know that I love peach that much. I'm more of a citrus kind of fruit guy, fresh guy, but this does smell nice. So there you have it, 345 Soaps. Hometown, my Smilez for Miles, brand new brush. First use on that brush, really liked it. And then we have the one blade. All right, thanks for tuning in, folks, and we'll see you soon on the channel.